Okay, so this is the second part of lab 2, and I have already set up a blank part file, and I'm gonna demonstrate how to draw the homework 2 and in a efficient way. So first we need a sketch. Okay, let's build a sketch, and I'm in the sketch now. All right, let's look at the shape. Although this is symmetric, but there's a circle, cut in half by the center line. So that will take some time to draw a half of the circle. So I'll just draw everything at once. And you have two circles equal and at the same distance from the center. So um, remember we talked about the reference line in the lab in part 1. So we can have a reference line here, then put two circles onto the reference line. Okay, let's start. So first is the circle in the center. So we can just drop one circle here, and now you can actually put in your dimension. Let's say 40 is the diameter. Okay, and apparently that's huge, so we can use the fit. All right, and the second we're gonna draw the bigger circle. That's gonna be 50 in diameter. So let's type in 50 and press enter. And then you can drop this one here. Alright, so I'm done here for the two circles, and I can sort the dimensions, put them in a better place. And then we're gonna put the reference line here. So for a reference line, we're gonna first input a active line. So we can start from here and make this line aligned on the x-axis. Okay, and it doesn't matter about the length, the the length of this line. So we can quickly turn this into a reference by click on the line, and you have this quick menu. We can convert to reference. Okay, and you can also use the command here, convert to or from reference. Alright, next thing is we want to center this reference line to the sketch orange. Also, we want to make the dimension right. So first, let's put in a dimension 120 in the slides. And just a reminder, you can see the degree of freedom arrows on those 2 points. Okay, so that means this line is free to move right now. Okay, and next we're gonna center the reference line. We can use this. I believe this is the midpoint constraint. Okay, so first pick the object to constrain. So that's gonna be the reference line, and the reference line will be constrained to the sketch orange. So if you hover here, you're gonna pick the center of the circles. So actually we want to pick the sketch orange. So we will hover here and wait for the 3 dots. Then we can click, and that's your quick pick menu. We can pick the overlapped sketch orange. Alright, so as you can see, the degree of freedom on X disappeared. Okay, so that means this line is actually able to move upward on the Y-axis. So we want to put the sketch orange on the line. So we can use point on curve constraint. And let's first pick the sketch orange. Then you can move down to the second entry and pick the line. So now you can see the color turns to green. That means this reference line is fully constrained. Okay, now next we're gonna put in 2 circles. I'm just gonna put 2 circles, and alright, sorry about the phone. And let's then put the outside circle, and here we want to snap to the start point of the reference line. It's actually okay, you can snap to the center of the this arc, because this arc is fixed on the reference line already. So either one is okay. Then we just go ahead. Right. Then we can drop in the dimensions. So this will be 18 in diameter. Can type in 18, and we can actually put this one as equals to P3. Okay, so make this 2 circle the same diameter. Then the outer circle is 30 in diameter, and here I'm gonna use the other way to make this 2 circle the same size. We can use the constraint. Okay, there's a equal length or equal radius. Okay, for the circle it's gonna be equal radius. So select the object to constrain. So that's the object we want to constrain, and the reference or the radius we want is on the second icon, second entry. So we pick this one, and you can see the size changed as well as the color, and this whole thing is fully constrained. Okay. Now the last thing is the those straight lines. That's pretty easy, and just make sure you have this point on curve snap. The snap option is on. So we will snap this straight line, and you can see there's the point on curve icon shows up. So click, we want to point on curve. Okay, we can choose this, and you can see no matter how much you move, this line is always on the circle, and it's by default it will be tangent. Okay, and we can get close to this circle. It's fine, you just snap to this position as long as there's the tangent icon is on. So if you click, okay, see this one is nicely tangent to both circles. So we can keep doing this. Then you want to see the tangent icon shows up, and it'll be here, tangent. All right, and that's this position. Okay, you can adjust a little bit and see what has happened. Okay, that looks good. All right, so next we can check if this is fully constrained. You can see everything's green, so nothing will be wrong. Okay, the next step is we're gonna cut off those excess the curves we don't want. So we can use quick trim, and then just click on the curve you don't want, and don't worry about that. That's the dimension or the the reference for your dimensions. So if you can see that. Okay, so pretty much we have done this sketch, and let's finish sketch, and then we can extrude. That's gonna be 20. Okay, we can use extrude, and since this is we're gonna pick the whole sketch, we can leave this to inferred curves, and pick, then type in 20, press enter, then there you go. That's the homework 2. Okay, I think I can do homework 1 also, because this is kind of if you put in the dimension 1 by 1, then the shape will change, and sometimes people freak out. The shape goes too weird. Okay, and we'll see what happens. Okay, now I'm gonna build a new sketch for homework 1, and we don't need homework 2 to interfere with our drawing. So we can right click and hide, okay, both these two features. So we have a clear working space. Then we can build a new sketch on XY again. Alright, so we're gonna sketch this, and keep in mind that this is parametric. So I'm not gonna draw let's say 60, then this much line, then 1 by 1 in the correct length. I'm just gonna draw the whole thing at once. Okay, so let's start from this order: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, just eyeball the shape. Okay, maybe they're aligned, maybe they're not. But here you want to make sure this point and the top point is aligned. Okay, go down, and I'm finished. Okay, that's pretty quick. Then the next step is we're gonna put in the dimensions. So as you can see, this line and that line, they are already constrained because they start from the sketch orange. Okay, now, and you can see the arrow here. That means this point can move along axis but not y. So this is code. That's it. This is because of this horizontal constraint. So let's put in 60, and you can see why. If you put in dimension 1 by 1, then things will be very different, because it's 300 now. If I put in 60, everything will be weird, but it's fine. You just keep doing that. Okay, so 60, and let's keep going. You have 40 here, so we can drag this thing back a little bit. Otherwise, you're gonna put in minus 40 from the original position to the sketch orange. Okay, so from that point to this point, this will be okay. It's too hard. Let's drag it down. Let's move this curve down a little bit. Okay, then putting the dimension from the point to that point. Okay, still I cannot get that. Well, let's put in this 12 first. 12, then I think that's the angle dimension. We can click this line, then click the bottom line. Then we can pull out the angle. That's gonna be 117. Okay, and as you can see, the color changes as you put in dimensions. Okay, they will be fully constrained 1 by 1. And we can drag things around to make this shape look closer to what we need. Okay, so apparently this is 150. And we can also drag the point. Alrighty, 35 on the top, 35, this is 40, and you got this is 30, so you want to make sure this is a vertical dimension, 30. Then the angle between this line and that line is say 77. Okay. So what's next? I think the only thing left is this this 40 here. So from the orange to this point. Okay. If you can't pull straight, yeah, okay, we can. So 40, and look at the color. Everything's green. So here you are fully constrained, and a sketch is done. We can pull things back a little bit, make this looking nice. Okay. And next is the revolve. Revolve is pretty easy, right? Let's click Finish Sketch. Get out of the sketch first, then build the feature. Revolve. Now we want to pick a connected curve. Okay, that's good. Then we want to define a vector. You can just pick this line as your axis. Okay. Should be back to inferred. That'll be much easier. Okay. All right. So you get this homework done. Let's show those things up. So there's homework 1, homework 2. Let's go down to the project parts. Okay, this project parts is only 2 steps. One sketch, then the extrude. The headache is the shape of your sketch. So I'm going to delete everything here. Okay, and you can use Shift and click to pick multiple items. Let's build a new sketch, or maybe XY. Okay. Then I showed you this picture. That's the first step to start. Then you can run things up. Okay, put an arc here, so make this hook. Alright, so I need to zoom in a little bit to see the dimensions. Okay. Alright, so let's start from this basic shape. Once you get the parts, you want to pick a good position for your coordinate system orange. So usually we pick the center of a hole or the center of a very special geometry. So in this case will be the hole. Now let's start with the 2 circles. Okay, 1 circle, 2 circle, and you can put in dimension. That's gonna be a 1/4 inch in diameter, so 1/4 for the smaller circle, and the bigger one will be 0.5. And they're very tiny compared to homeworks. maybe that was a good idea to just input the dimension first. But that's very flexible. You can choose what you want to do. And the next is the bottom line, the top line. Okay, so here we want to use this snap, the quadrant point snap. Okay, so you can snap to the top and the bottom of this arc. Otherwise, it's hard to snap to this center point. So we can actually input. We can use the profile tool to get the whole thing done. Just enable this quadrant point first. Okay, and let's start from the bottom. You can see the small icon says the quadrant point. So quadrant point, and go horizontal. That's about 1.1 inch. So just drop this, and as you can see, this point is aligned and it's on x-axis. So that's x-axis. Go to, then the top should be aligned with this quadrant point. Okay, then we can pull out. Hard to pull out. Okay, I'll do this, finish this, and start from here. Actually go exceed this line. Then we can cut this off. Quick trim. Okay, by the way, we can use another faster trick. In the quick trim, you can hold down your left button, draw something. Okay, as you this thing, as you draw, everything you touch will be cut off. Okay, that's pretty interesting stuff. And we can put in dimensions now. Okay, that will be 1 inch, and this will be 1.1. Then here's from the center, or from the origin to this point will be 1.25. Okay, so next is the let's see, you can see the degree of freedom is on Y only now. So we can put a reference line from the sketch origin to this point. Okay, and we can turn this to reference. You can just click here, and that's your quick menu. Let's see. Okay, everything's constraint. All right, next is the this rectangle. So I think yeah, there's no dimension here. Well, it's just a random rectangle. Putting the rectangle first, then give it some dimension. So that's the spacing between this top and the rectangle is 1/8. So you can type in 1/8. Next, I think I need to move to the other side. Okay. Alright, so this side of the rectangle to this orange will be 0.45. Then we'll put in. I was waiting for this quick pick menu to show up. So sketch orange. 0.45. Alright. And this side, we can leave this side free for now. Okay. Alright, next we gonna we can first delete this quick trim, this arc, then we can do all these fillets. Okay. If you look, we have 0.1 fillet, and that's 0.12, and the 0.1. Okay, then we can first type in 0.1, press enter, and we have 3 corners are 0.1 inch. Okay, and what's next? This is 0.5. We can say 0.5, and that'll be this corner, and this big corner is 0.2. Okay, just type in 0.2, press enter, and pick them up, and you have to drop this. Alright, so next is this hook. That's a little bit complicated. Basically, you just we need an arc here, then we can do a fillet. Okay, so as you can see, the arc on this side is 0.4 in radius, and it's on the bottom straight line. So we can use this command arc, and most commonly used is this 3-point arc. So we can pick the top point, okay, or we can pick the point on this arc. You can actually choose from this quick pick menu the start point of the arc instead of the point on the end point of the straight line. So we can use the start point, okay, as the first point for your arc. Then we can drop any place on this line. That's the second point of your arc. So lastly, we can make sure this arc is tangent to the top fillet. Okay, as you can see the tangent icon on the top above my cursor. Okay, let's drop this, and now we can just delete those lines we don't need. Okay, and now then we can put in the dimensions. So as you can see, everything here is free to move. Okay, and what we do is, let's see, we have this. Okay, we can put one vertical constraint for this. Okay, so once you put this, make sure this is vertical, then this fillet and that fillet, they're all fixed. And for this, as you can see, I put this dimension here to make sure this fillet is constrained. So we can snap to the center of this arc to the center of that arc and drop a dimension. And you don't have to change this dimension because this one is 0.35 when we draw the rectangle. Okay, so lastly we can put this P11 dimension. That's 0.45. So from this line to the end point of this arc, okay, that will be 0.245. Okay, and as you can see, because it's not on this bottom line, so we can put a constraint, okay, to fix this y degree of freedom. That's gonna be a point on curve. So the object to constrain will be the point, and constraint 2 will be the straight line. So we can pick this line to make this point align with this bottom line, and you can see the color changed, and now everything is fully constrained. Okay, so now the last step is just do a fillet. That'll be here, and this not very nicely round number is because of this distance between these two. So I picked the arc and also click on this straight line. You can move around and you can see the radius is changing. So you can try different radius. I found that 0.86 is the best position. And as you can see, even now it's a little bit different from what I drew for this slides. So that's fine. Okay. Let's see the let's finish sketch first. We can move the dimension around to see what's different, or this is totally fine for the project. Okay, you don't have to do any modification anymore. And next step will be the extrusion. So I guess I'll just leave this alone. If you don't know where's the difference, see this fillet is actually lower than that line, and here in the slides it's a little bit higher. So, but it doesn't matter. Okay. I'm still trying to fix that. Okay, just finish sketch, and we all know what to do next is the extrude, and we can use invert curve, pick everything. Okay, and the input section is invalid. That means our sketch is not in good shape. You need to go back and see where the sketch has some problems. Okay, and one way to examine where's the problem is just do the sketch, but we're gonna use a single curve. So let's see what's the depth. The depth will be 1/16. Okay, 1/16. Then we can start from this the curve one by one. So as you can see, if we continue pick the curves, the extrude will grow as we pick, and the open end will always have one big star. Okay, so if there's a star between the two sheets, then that means there's a tiny opening. It's not good for you. Okay, so pretty much this outside curve is fine. Now we can pick the arc, then everything's good. And it might be a bug for NX. Sometimes the invert curve the automatically pick the sketch for you, but the invert curve will have that invalid input problem. So we can see that again. If we try to use invert curve, okay, then section is invalid. Then we can try to use connected curve, okay, which will be much faster than single curve. Okay, and that's still invalid. So there might be some problem in the sketch, but I'll just do single curve. So this kind of invalid problem will be the most commonly encountered a problem in your modeling. So use single curve is one of the methods to get around with this. And of course, a good quality sketch will be the best. Okay. Then, all right. I guess this is enough for the part 2, and I hope you can finish this homework and the ledge for the project without any problem. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.